enforcement, not about politics. Okay, what it is about is getting neighbors talking to each other and looking out for each other. And that really is the premise of a neighborhood watch. What we have found out in our discussions with some of the neighborhood watches that currently exist has been we don't have a means to share information. So to give you an example, CJ Patrol doing a wonderful job in the downtown area, and they see a problem. Well, that problem is probably not going to stay just in downtown CJ. That person may live out in Ken Rose, or they may live on Rockydale, or they may be in Selma or O'Brien. And then there's a problem in O'Brien, and it spills over into Selma because the person is traversing through. Nobody knows what to be on the lookout for. So that's really how this got started right here, was that what means do we have to share information between each other? And then what we really stumbled into is that there are some loosely formed neighborhood watches. We got CJ Patrol, who is very structured and very informed. We've got some other neighborhood watches that are in varying degrees. Is there anybody here from Dick George?
Order 105?
So the Dick George, they were watching at one point. They were actually out doing some patrol, much like the CJ Patrol.
Yeah, used to.
O'Brien, I know there's a couple people here from O'Brien. They used to have a patrol out in the O'Brien area.
Sure.
Very effective. Because you start talking to people that shouldn't be in your neighborhood. It's kind of saying, come here, can I help you? Are you lost? And people like, oh crap, or somebody actually watching what I'm doing. And you know what? They just kind of leave. Yeah. And that's been our experience.
Right.
And the same thing happens. I'm from Idlewild, and we've got a very well organized neighborhood watch in Idlewild. We don't patrol. I kind of do because I'm up all hours of the night. So I kind of start with the subdivision and see what's going on. But by and large, we don't have any problems. We've had a few things happen. We've had some issues with a little tract of property at the end of Idlewild and one house in Idlewild that we know we got some interesting activity going on. But the neighbors watch. We're all looking out for each other. And that's what we're about tonight is how can we expand information, and are there any areas of our community that needs to say, hey, okay, sounds like a good idea. How do I start a neighborhood watch? What do we do? Now for me, what I did is I found out what they were doing in Ken Rose. I called Gunther up. I said, Gunther, we want to start a neighborhood watch in the Idlewild area. How do I do this? And he gave us all kinds of information, gave me ideas, gave me forms. And as I look at this stuff, one thing that I really realized as your fire chief is an area of preparedness. So we got the security of our neighborhoods, and not to spend a lot of time on it, we already know that we already a Cascadia event's going to be devastating to our community. And so we have a resource in our neighborhoods with our neighbors. And so we actually started documenting, okay, who's handicapped? Who has a backhoe? Who's got chainsaws? Who's got resources that could help in the middle of an emergency? That concept spun off from us and the Ohio Valley Fire District into our CERT team, our Civilian Emergency Response Team. We said, and we really tried to focus getting CERT members that were part of the neighborhood watch. So we have a group of trained people that in the middle of a disaster could provide some assistance to each other. So when you start pulling all these things together, this whole neighborhood watch is multifaceted from people around working on each other and in preparing, so if we have a disaster, we would have some resources. We know it's going to take quite a while before we get a lot of help coming from the county and state defense. That's what I expect. Jimmy?
I'm going to go pass around this sign-up sheet and just put your name, your phone number, and the general vicinity, what city, or if you're from O'Brien or Selma or Tacoma, and your street, and we'll get a hold of you afterwards. And I also have guidelines and how to set up watch information here. So if you don't have a neighborhood watch, see me during the break or after. I'll pass this.
Jimmy.
My name is Jimmy Evans with King Junction Patrol. Shortly, we formed because of crime in our neighborhood. The reason I'm I'm excited about gun because of crime in our neighborhood. The reason I'm excited about Gunter and Chief Hoke's idea is basically, and I'll speak operationally. Operationally, how our patrol is supposed to work is we have X amount of patrollers out on the roads, and we're patrolling the roads looking for suspicious characters. If they're cutting your damn gas line, if they're trying to get into your house, if they're squatting issues and it's affecting your life. Basically, operationally how we're supposed to work, if we have the proper manpower, is we have like a captain on each individual block. And I love this idea because valley-wide, the idea is to get responsible folks to get involved, stay involved, be dedicated, and stick with what we're trying to do. And that involves, like, say we're patrolling, and you have some jackass cutting your gas line, sorry to cuss, but that's how you start to feel about these things. He's cutting your gas line. We're not cops, but we want to respond and we want to stop and limit the property damage. And if possible, stop it altogether. We want to know who they are, what vehicle they're driving. We want to take that data, we want to have it into a system so that we can report to the proper law enforcement so that they can act. I know we're not talking law enforcement here, but after, say, July 1st, we're going to be kind of crippled a bit because our reporting capabilities are going to go down. We can expect just online reporting. However, that doesn't prevent the entire valley from uniting good, honest people who are tired of the crap, from working together. Simple, and the volunteerism is really big. So if you say you're going to be a captain, you'll be responsible for helping to create a neighborhood watch in your area, but we'll help you refresh that. And if you need help, I like this idea, we'll help you refresh that.
That's
So,
what we need to do.
operationally, if someone's in your neighborhood and they're cutting your gas line, we